Hey guys, welcome to this section on the power and relationships of the novel The Power. We'll talk about how power affects our connections with others, whether at home, work, or in social settings. Understanding these power dynamics can help us build better and more balanced relationships. So let's get started. What you give to others, you give to yourself. The most enlightened beings throughout history told us to love others. You were not told to love others just so that you would be a nice person. You were being given the secret to life. You were being given the law of attraction. When you love others, you will have an amazing life. When you love others, you will receive the life you deserve. Give love to others through kindness, encouragement, support, gratitude, or any good feeling, and it comes back to you and multiplies itself, bringing love to every other area of your life, including your health, money, happiness, and career. Give negativity to others through criticism, anger, impatience, or any bad feeling, and you will receive that negativity back guaranteed. And as the negativity comes back, it multiplies itself, attracting more negativity, which affects the rest of your lives. It's not about the other person. You can tell in your relationships right now what you have been giving. If a current relationship is great, it means you are giving more love and gratitude than negativity. If a current relationship is difficult or challenging, it means you are inadvertently giving more negativity than love. Some people think a relationship is either good or bad because of the other person, but life doesn't happen that way. You can't say to the force of love, I will give love only when the other person give it to me. You can't receive anything in life unless you give it first. Whatever you give, you receive. So it's not about the other person at all. It's all about you. It's all about what you are giving and what you are feeling. You can change any relationship right now by looking for the things you love, appreciate, and are grateful for in that person. When you make a deliberate effort to look for the things you love more than you notice negative things, a miracle will take place. It will appear to you as though something incredible has happened to the other person. But it's the force of love that is incredible, because it dissolves negativity, including negativity in relationships. All you have to do is harness the force of love by looking for the things you love in the person, and everything will change in the relationship. I know of hundreds of relationships that have been restored through the power of love, but one particular story of a woman who used love's power to restore her crumbling marriage stands out from the others, because this woman had lost all love for her husband. In fact, she couldn't bear to be near him. Her husband complained every day. He was sick all the time. He was depressed and angry and verbally abusive to her and their 4 children. When the woman learned about the power of giving love, she decided right away to feel happier despite the problems in her marriage. Immediately, the atmosphere in their home became lighter, and the woman's relationship with her children got better. She then went through her photo albums, looking at the photos of her husband when they first married. She took some of the photos and put them on her desk to look at them every day. And by her doing this, something amazing happened. She felt the love she had first felt for her husband, and as she felt the love return, her feelings of love began to increase dramatically inside her. She reached a point where she loved her husband more than she ever had in her life. Her love became so great that her husband's depression and anger disappeared, and his health began to return. This woman went from wanting to be as far away as possible from her husband to a marriage where they want to be with each other as much as possible. Love means freedom. Now, here is the tricky bit with giving love in relationships, and it's the one thing that has prevented many from receiving the life they deserve. It's not only tricky because people have misunderstood what it means to give love to others. To be very clear about what it means to give love to others, you need to understand what it means not to give love to others. Trying to change another person is not giving love. Thinking you know what is best for another person is not giving love. Thinking you are right and another person is wrong is not giving love. Criticizing, blaming, complaining, nagging, or finding fault with another person is not giving love. I want to share a story I received that demonstrates the care we must take in our relationships. A man's wife had left him and had taken their children with her. The man was devastated. He blamed his wife and he refused to accept her decision. He continued to contact her, determined to do everything he could to change her mind. He may have thought he was acting out of love for his wife and family, but his actions were not loving. He blamed his wife for their marriage ending. He believed that she was wrong and he was right. He refused to accept his wife's decision to choose for herself. Because he would not stop contacting his wife, he was arrested and sentenced to jail. The man eventually realized that he was not giving love when he denied his wife her freedom to choose what she wanted, and that he lost his freedom as a result. The law of attraction is the law of love, and you cannot break it. If you violate it, you break yourself. I am sharing this story because the ending of intimate relationship is very challenging for some people. You cannot deny someone else's right to choose what they want, because that is not giving love. It is a bitter pill to swallow when your heart is breaking, but you must respect everyone's freedom and right to choose. What you give to another person, you receive yourself, and when you deny another person's freedom to choose, you will attract negative things that deny on your own freedom. Maybe the flow of money to you decreases, or your health weakens, or your job takes a downturn, because all of these things would affect your freedom. There is no other person for the law of attraction. What you give out to others, you give to yourself. Giving love to other person does not mean you let people walk all over you or abuse you in any way, because that's not giving love either. Allowing another person to use you doesn't help that person, and it surely doesn't help you. Love is tough, and we learn and grow through its law. And as part of that learning, we experience consequences. So it is not love to allow another person to use or abuse you. The answer is get yourself onto the highest frequency of all good feelings that you can, and the force of love will resolve the situation for you. The secret to relationships. Life presents everything to you so that you can choose what you love. And part of the gift of life is that you are given all kinds of people. So you can choose what you love in those people and turn away from what you don't love. You are not meant to manufacture love for qualities in a person you don't love, but simply to turn away without giving them any feeling. Turning away from what you don't love in someone means you are relaxed about it. And life is giving you a choice. It doesn't mean that you argue with them to prove they are wrong, or you criticize or blame them, or that you want to change them because you think you're right. Because if you do any of these things, you're not giving love. Big time. When you are on a feeling frequency of love, then only people who are on the same feeling frequency as you are can come into your life. Some days you feel really happy, some days you feel irritated, and others you feel sad. You can be many different versions of yourself. A person in a relationship with you can also be many versions, including happy, irritated, or sad. No doubt you will have seen them being many different versions, but every version is still that person. When you are happy, then only the happy version of other people can come into your life. But you have to be happy to receive the happy versions of other people. It doesn't mean you are responsible for other person's happiness, because everyone is responsible for their own lives and happiness. What it means is there's nothing else for you to do but to feel happy yourself, and the law of attraction will do the rest. Gossip is sticky too. Gossip seems harmless on the surface, but it can cause a lot of negative thing in people's life. Gossip is not giving love, gossip is giving negativity, and that's exactly what you receive back. Gossip is not harmful to the person who is being spoken of. Gossip harms those gossiping. When you are talking with a family member or a friend and they tell you about some negative thing that someone said or did, they are gossiping and they are giving out negativity, as you listen to them, you are giving out negativity too, because you are a feeling being and you can't hear negative things without your feeling dropping rapidly. When you talk with a work colleague at lunch and you both talk negatively about someone, you are gossiping and you are giving out negativity. You can't talk about or hear negativity and have good feelings. So to put it frankly, we need to be mindful of not sticking our nose in others' people's business, because their business will get stuck on our nose unless you want it in your life. Turn away from it without feeling anything. You will not only be doing yourself a favor, but you will also be doing the other people a favor who don't realize the negative effect gossip can have on their lives. If you find yourself gossiping or listening to gossip, stop mid-sentence and say, "But I'm so grateful that," and finish the sentence with something good about the person being gossiped about. Your reaction chooses it. Life is presenting every person and circumstances to you, so you can choose what you love and what you don't love. When you react to something, you are reacting with your feelings, and as you do, you are choosing it. Your reaction, whether good or bad, sticks it to you, and in effect, you are saying you want more of it. And so it's important to watch how you react in your relationships, because whether you react with good or bad feelings, they are feelings you're giving, and you will receive more of the same circumstances to make you feel that way. If a person says or does something and you find yourself feeling upset, offended or angry, do your best to change the negative reaction right away. Simply being aware that you have reacted negatively takes the power out of the negative feelings immediately and can even stop them. But if you feel as though the negative feelings have a grip on you, it is best to walk away and spend a couple of minutes looking for the things you love, one after the other, until you feel much better. You can use anything you love to make you feel better, like listening to your favorite music, imagining the things you love, or doing something you love. You can also think about the things you love in the person who upset you. This might be challenging, but if you can do it, it's the fastest way to feel better. It's also the fastest way to become the master of your feelings. When someone is surrounded by a magnetic field of joy, you can feel their joy touch you from across the room. People who are popular and who have magnetic personalities are simply people who feel good most of the time. The field of joy that surrounds them is so magnetic that it draws everybody and everything to them. The more you give love and feel good, the more magnetic your field becomes, and the more it expands, drawing everything and everyone you love to you. Imagine that. You have opportunities every day to give love to other people through your good feelings. When you feel happy, it is your guarantee that you will be giving positivity and love to whomever you come into contact with. When you give love to anyone, the love will return to you, but in a far greater way that you may have realized. When you give love to another person, if your love affects the other person so positively that they then give love to someone else, then no matter how many people are positively affected, no matter how far your love travels, all that love comes back to you. Not only do you receive back the love you gave to the original person, you receive all the love back from everyone who was affected. And the love returns to you dressed as positive circumstances, positive people, and positive events in your life. On the other hand, if you negatively affect another person, so much that a person goes on to negatively affect someone else, then the negativity will return to you in full. You will receive it back in the form of negative circumstances, affecting money, your career, your health, or your relationships. Whatever you give to another, you give to yourself. When you are feeling enthusiastic, happy, and cheerful, those good feelings affect everyone you come into contact with. Even if you connect with a person just briefly in a store, on a bus, or in an elevator, when your good feelings make a difference to any person you connect with, the effect of that one instance on your life is almost proper and positive. Love is the solution and the answer to every relationship. You can never improve a relationship with negativity. Use the creation process for your relationships and give love to receive. Use the keys to power for your relationships. Notice the things you love. Make list of the things you love. Talk about the things you love and turn away from the things you don't love. Imagine having the perfect relationship. Imagine it at the highest level you can and feel having it with all your heart. If you find it difficult to feel good about a relationship, then love everything else around you and just stop noticing the negative things in your relationship. Love can do anything for you. All you have to do is give love by feeling good, and any negativity in your relationships will fade away. Whenever you're faced with a negative situation in a relationship, the solution is always love. You won't know how it will be solved, and you can never know how. But if you maintain feeling good and give love, it will happen. The message from Lao Tzu, Buddha, Jesus, Muhammad, and every great being is loud and clear. Love.